All right, let's look at page 3 of our practice test. Practice test A. Okay, so these are true-false questions. If it's true, we're going to write true. If it's false, we're going to replace the underlined word so that the statement is true. Okay, so the polynomial, this is called a polynomial here. 5abc plus 2x minus 3 is a binomial. So this is the word we want to check. Is this called a binomial? Well, then we get the name by the number of terms. So let's circle the number of plus and minus signs, and terms are separated by addition and subtraction. A term is the product of factors, so a group of factors together. So 5 times A times B times C is a group of factors being multiplied, and that is called a term. So now we're going to count the terms. 1, 2, 3. Okay, when it has 3 terms, this is called a trinomial. Binomial means 2 terms. We don't have a binomial, we have a trinomial. So that one is false. The numerical coefficient of 18a to the 3b9 times c is 8. Okay, so 8 here is what we're checking is correct. Now let's look over here. Our numerical coefficient is the number being multiplied in front of the variable. So here my numerical coefficient is 18. It is not 8. Even though the 8 is right in front of the a, that's not the whole number. The whole number is 18. So this is actually false. And to correct it, we're going to write the number 18 because 18 is the numerical coefficient. 25. The commutative property is used on the following expression. 5 times 9 equals 9 times 5. So commutative property means that we can commute or move our numbers around without changing the answer to the original problem. So 5 times 9 is 45, and 9 times 5 is also 45. So moving our numbers around has not changed our problem. It's both sides are equal to 45. So this is true. The commutative property is true in general for all addition and multiplication problems. Okay, the distributive property is used to change the following expression from 6 times 3 plus 8 to 6 times 3 plus 6 times 8. Well, the distributive property tells us that we can multiply a number on the outside of parentheses by every term inside, like this, 6 times 3 and 6 times 8, and we can add them together and get the same result. So you see here, this is what's underlined. This is what we're correcting. So if we distribute and use the distributive property, is this what we get? So let's look. 6 times 3 plus 6 times 8. Yes, it is. That's exactly what's written up here. So this is true. All right, 27. Now we have some multiple choice questions. What is the algebraic meaning of the phrase less than? Well, if you have less than something else or an amount less than, that implies subtraction. Okay, we're going to minus. So the answer is C. What number group includes only counting numbers and 0? Okay, even if you don't know, let's go through a process of elimination and see what we can scratch off of our list. Okay, integers includes counting numbers 0, but it also includes all of the opposites, so the minus numbers. So minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. Okay, our counting numbers are all the whole numbers right above 0, and now we're including counting numbers in 0, but not negatives. So it's not an integer because negative numbers are included with integers. Irrational numbers, that's something completely different. It means if you divide something or solve something, it gives you a never-ending decimal place, like pi, for example. So this is not an irrational number. Counting numbers, well, it can't be a counting number because it includes counting numbers and 0, so we know it can't be that. So the only thing that's left is whole numbers. And that's exactly what whole numbers are. It's all the counting numbers and 0. So you start from 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way up to infinity. So that is A. Which of the following expressions represent the ratio n to 7? Okay, we can write ratios in several ways. One is we can use the word 2. We can also use a colon, n to 7, but none of these are written that way. Or we can write as a fraction, n to 7. Okay, that fraction bar we use for the word 2. So n divided by 7, let's have a check. 7 divided by n times, and there we go. D. is our answer. Write using exponents and simplify any numerical coefficients. So this is telling us then when we have numbers in front, it wants us to multiply them all together, not just write exponents, but actually multiply it out. All right, so let's look here. We have 2 times 3 times 3. So 2 times 3 is 6. 6 times 3 is 18. So 18 is my number. And then I have n times n times n. So I'm going to use exponents. Exponents are repeated multiplication. So I have n raised to the 3 power. And that's it. Now let's look down here. We have 2 times 5 times 7. So 2 times 5 is 10. 10 times 7 is 70. Then I have 1s. So I'm going to write s. And then I have 2 y's. So that would be y to the second power. And I have 2 k's. So that would be k to the second power.